Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, we're out at Lucky Peak Reservoir today, and this is the day of the Mavics. I've got the Mavic 2 Zoom, and I've got the Mavic Air 2, and I've got the Mavic Mini. And so what we're going to do today is, just for the fun of it, Mavic versus Mavic versus Mavic. We're going to fly them out over the reservoir here, and just so you can get an idea and compare the video quality. So we're going to shoot all of them in 30 frames per second frame rate, and the Mavic Air and the Mavic 2 Zoom will have in 4K, and this one, of course, the top resolution is 2.7K, so we'll shoot in 2.7K. So what I'm going to try and do is fly at the same altitude and the same distance, so that you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. Now, it's a little bit windy today. I just looked at UAV forecast. 7 mile an hour sustained winds, 14 mile an hour gusts. But one of the good things about it is that we will be flying into the wind. So we're going to try this little guy first, the Mavic Mini first, and we'll see how it does. We'll see if we get wind warnings. We very well might, so that might limit what we can do with the Mavic Mini. And if we do get a bunch of wind warnings, we'll just bring it back and set it down. But like I said, I'll be going out against the wind, which is a good thing. That way I know I can get it back because it'll be with the wind. But this will be fun. So we'll just compare the video quality. I'm thinking we might try an orbit mode or a circle mode on the three of them. Maybe just kind of do a half circle around. We're kind of on a little point here, and maybe do a half circle around that and see how it looks. And then right opposite of us is Vista Point, where I like to fly at. I prefer to fly at Vista Point. It's just a great spot to fly your drone from. However, it's still closed. I assume that's because of COVID, but they've got barricades up and they've got it closed. But we'll fly out that direction towards it. The other thing that we're going to keep watch out for is we just saw a fairly low flying helicopter with one of those big water bags below it. No doubt they're picking up water to go after fires and so forth. So we're going to pay a lot of attention and make sure we keep our eyes peeled for that kind of stuff. Obviously we're not going to be flying at terribly high altitudes, so it shouldn't be a problem, but hopefully we'll see some boats out here, and we'll just compare the Mavics. Mavic versus Mavic versus Mavic. All right, let's get them in the air. We're all fired up here with the Mavic Mini first. I have a feeling we're going to run into some wind warnings with this guy. I'm also struggling to get enough GPS with it as well. We've only got 7 satellites locked, but we may try and take off anywhere. It just says fly with caution, pre-flight check. It is not telling me to do a compass calibration or anything. So gosh, return to home is set at 30 meters. Where we're at, I think that's fine. I'm going to leave that. Well, maybe I'll kick it up to 50. So we kicked the return to home up to 50. Yeah, now it says normal, so evidently we got some more satellites now. So let's go ahead and start recording. Let's double check that again. Again, we're in 2.7K, 30 frames per second. Let's go ahead and check white balance real quick. I believe I had that set on auto, advanced shooting settings, and I do have white balance is on manual. I'm going to move it over to auto. Okay, and yeah, let's go ahead and start recording. We've just got 85% battery on this one, so this won't be a real long flight, but let's get this baby in the air. Yeah, and I can already see the drone is a little bit tilted into the wind, so the wind is it's kind of sideways to where we're going here, but let's go ahead and get some altitude. Let's take it up about, I don't know, let's go up 25 meters. And we're going to head straight out to Vista Point, right directly across from us there. So, center of screen there, that's Vista Point. Let's drop the gimbal down a little. And we're going to head straight out there. We're in P mode, which is normal mode for this drone. Not getting any wind warnings yet. The drone is operating normally. Like I said, it is a fairly windy day out here, so I kind of expected some wind warnings. Like we just had a gust come up just now. Up to 14-mile-an-hour gusts, it says. And we're going at about 8 meters per second. So we'll try and we'll try and do the same thing with the other drones. Let's remember that 25 meters high and about 8 meters per second. And we got some boats going by here. Yeah, I was a little bit concerned about the wind, but it's doing just fine. And we're out about 600 meters. I'm going to adjust our heading here just a little bit. And we're going to have to gain some altitude to get over the top of, yeah, now we're getting a wind warning. Okay, so I'm not going to mess around with that. We're just going to turn around and come back. It's out there on the lake, and you know, I had a feeling we'd get some wind warnings with this guy. So I believe that's us right there. Let me bring the map up so I can tell. Yes, it is. So we're going to go full stick forward and bring it back here.
That plane's low.
Sarah was just looking at a commercial aircraft behind us. She said it was low, but it's deceptive. He is up at a couple thousand feet or more. A big aircraft, it's kind of hard to just tell by looking at it. And you know, the drone, we lost that wind warning is gone now, and the drone is coming back to us fine at 8 meters per second. So no big issue that I can see. So there we are. We're out on that little point there. We found kind of a cool spot to set up here. So we haven't got any more wind warnings. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a quick shot and see if we can get a little bit of a circle mode. I was trying to say there, sorry about that. So there we are right there. Let's see, I wonder how, let's lower altitude. Let's get down to about, I don't know, probably, there's 14 meters. Pick up the gimbal. And I don't know if it'll be able to spot us this far out or not. We're about 40 meters out. But I need to stop recording to get into the quick shots. Okay, I'm gonna go into camera mode and I'm gonna turn off those zebra stripes. Turning off the overexposure warning there. Yeah, that we can see a little bit better. So we found a little picnic shelter here, and I'm gonna see if it will center on that. So I'm gonna go draw the picture around it, and it's got it. And we're going to click start, and let's see what we do here. And it's executing it perfectly. It's keeping us in line. Of course, this little guy speeds up as it goes. Boy, look at it go now. It's up at 5 meters per second. And I'm gonna need to stop it because it will run into the side of the, so I stopped it because it would have run into the side of the mountain. So that's what you got to remember with this, guys. It has absolutely no obstacle avoidance at all. Okay, we're going to go back into video mode, and let's see, we got 52% battery, so we're pretty good. We're going to do a quick selfie here. Video started. Let me get centered on Sarah and I, and 1, 2, 3, reverse and up. I'm kind of adjusting the yaw here a little bit. Yeah, there we get that wind warning. Okay, we're not going to mess around with that. No point in taking any chances. Let's just bring it on in and set it down. Just a little bit of a hand landing there. Okay, let me get this one shut down, and we'll go with the Mavic Air 2 next. Okay, so I've got the Mavic Air 2 ready to go, and we're going to take it out. We're going to fly kind of that same pattern. We were up about 25 meters, and we'll fly at 8 meters per second out towards Vista Point. Now, what I've noticed, this is kind of cool, so this obviously uses the Fly app as well. And we're in a zone, it says on there, under 150 meters because we're in the flight path for the Boise Airport, so you're required to be under 150 meters. But it automatically recognized, the Fly app did, that I've got the Mavic Air 2 now, which is cool because I was just flying the Mini. So yeah, it's saying we're ready to go. I'm getting no warnings whatsoever. So heck, let's go ahead and start recording now. And no reason we can't take off, so I'm going to hit takeoff on the app, and I'm going to get out of the way so you guys can see it. And we're going to run this guy up a ways, and we're 10 meters high. Let's we'll give it a look at its landing zone, and what we'll try and do with this guy is we'll try and get a precision landing. So so let's go ahead and head directly out to Vista Point, and I'll see if I can hold it at 8 meters per second. That way we duplicate what we did with the Mini. And 8 meters per second with the Mini was about its top speed. Well, I wish these things had cruise control. It's harder to hold a consistent speed than you think. Yeah, we got a boat going across there. If we have enough time and we get a boat in front of us, maybe we'll try some tracking with this guy. If we have enough battery left. What I want to do is I want to duplicate with all three of these drones the same flight path, so you're looking at the same footage. One thing we know about this guy is it's so much more powerful. We're not worried about the wind. And as we get closer to Vista Point there, we'll raise in altitude so we can get over the top of it. There's a boat down there. A couple of them. Whoops, look at that. I was going too fast. I think this is about as far as we went with the Mini before we got those strong wind warnings. So I'm going to go ahead and raise some altitude here. Make sure we are very clear of the top of Vista Point here. I'm centering on Vista Point, and let's just go full stick forward now. Catch some speed up and kind of look over the top of it here. We'll kind of do a little manual circle around here. So I can't figure out why this is closed. You can see why I like to fly from there. I mean, it's the perfect spot to set up and fly your drone, and it's out on a little peninsula. But boy, they've got it all shut down. Let's back off from it here. I'm going to go reverse out so that you can see what this looks like. If anybody that watches my videos has seen this before, but it's really a cool little spot to fly a drone from. And then you have this other little part of the lake here that kind of just goes up this little draw next to the highway, and I always like flying up that. It's always a fun spot to run the drone up. And that's Highway 21 going into the mountains right there. It goes up to Idaho City. Sarah's looking at a commercial aircraft behind us on the flight path.
Honey, look how low that is.
She says he's low.
I mean, seriously, your drone could go right there.
She's saying my drone could go that high. She doesn't get it. It never would. That plane is probably 1,500, 2,000 feet, but it's deceptive because of, you know, those big commercial aircraft. So I don't see anybody at any of these picnic areas here. We can circle around this guy, but this is so cool because these things are available just by boat. So if you want to check one of these out, you got to have a boat to do it. And people stop there. Of course, I don't know. This one wouldn't be my favorite because you're right next to the highway, but. Anyway, okay, let's head back here. So let me raise the gimbal a little bit and we'll fly right back over the top of Vista Point, and we're way off in the distance there. So yeah, we're gosh, 1.6 kilometers away from where we're at right here. About 50 meters high. We'll just fly right over the top of Vista Point here. There's Vista Point. Like I said, you can see why that is a cool place to fly a drone from. Lots of parking. You just set up there. Often I set up there on top by where that little shaded picnic area is. Let's point back towards us. We're on that point out there. We got a boat. Heck, how much battery we have? We should see if we can track that boat, huh? What do you think? Think we can? And we're back in the altitude zone. You can see that the app tells us. So I am going to see if, yeah, it got it. So we are going to active track trace And look at that, he stopped. He stopped in the water. Oh, it's in spotlight. We wanted to go trace. Go. So we're on him and he stopped. Just our luck, huh? Well, that's no fun. But what we proved is that active track would get him. Okay, let's we got another guy here. Let's see if we can get this guy. He's right in front of where I'm standing right now. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Let's see. Nah, it just, I don't know if I have to be closer. He's already going so fast. Yeah. Identifying target failed. I wonder if I come from behind here if it would work better. 70% battery. We're good on battery. Okay, I'm going to get behind him. Ah, we lost him. We had it for a second. Yeah, we lost him. Yeah, it's hard to when they're moving. It's hard to get a hold of the track.
The first boat starting to move.
Yeah, he's that first guy that we should have stayed on him because he's starting to move now. So I'm going to try it one more time here, guys. Yeah, so it would only allow people or vehicles, so it evidently doesn't recognize. No, so spotlight. Target too small. Yeah. Okay, that's for another time. Let's we did our best. Boy, it bugs me because I had him there for a second. Let's try it one more time. Got it. Active track, trace, go. So we got him. And now, of course, he stopped. Never fails. Oh, he took off. Okay. So the drone should follow right behind him. And it is. So that's pretty cool. So it's auto tracking, and if I go in cameraman mode, I could follow him however I want. And I noticed, it looks to me like it even recognizes that it's a boat, because it looks like that little icon to me on the screen looks like a picture of a boat. How freaking cool is that, huh? So the Fly app not only recognized it, but recognized that it's a boat. Okay, let's go into spotlight mode. And let's fly over the let's just fly around him, and it should keep the keep him in the middle of the frame here. Let's get the frame down there. I lowered the gimbal. Yeah, he's going, so I'm going to have to move around him here. So I'm in manual flight now, tracking him, but it's keeping him in center of frame. Now, is that cool or what? So there he's turning again. Looks like we got an aircraft warning. Sarah, do you see anything?
Nope.
Yeah, he's a ways away from us. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, it's gone now, so. Sorry, I got distracted there. So he stopped again. Well, okay, enough of that. We proved it could be done, and if you were down closer, you could probably get some neat shots. In fact, let's fly over the top of him here, and you can see how it just will automatically keep the gimbal right on the boat. As I circle around, it keeps him centered in the middle of the frame. Pretty darn cool. Okay, so we're going to get out of spotlight mode. I think we proved the worth of that. That's pretty damn cool. Okay, let's fly back, and we will do a semicircle just like we did with the Mini. Let me pick up the gimbal here. There goes that boat. He's taking off. And we're back in that fly zone. Full stick forward. Tell you what, let's put this guy in sport mode. Let's get her back here fast. Okay, full stick forward in sport mode. About 18 meters per second. That's right around 40 miles an hour. That was me drifting there. That was unintended. So there we are down there. Okay, let's bring the drone down and move around here. Whoops, that fast yaw again. Of course, I am in sport mode. I want to put it in about the same position that we had the Mini in. And I think we were a little closer in the Mini too. I'm going to drop some altitude. Boy, I can't remember how far away we were in the Mini. Okay, we're going to try that. And so again, I have to stop recording to go into those flight modes. So we're going to stop recording now. And I click on the little film strip or whatever you call it at the top there, and we're going to go into quick shots, and we are going to choose circle, and again we're going to go counterclockwise, and we're going to see if it will recognize us, and it did. So we are just going to click start. And the same thing with this one, it does not have any obstacle avoidance sensors. So potentially it could, if I don't stop it before it hits the side of the mountain here, it would just go right into the side of the mountain because it does not have those sensors. And trust me, it's moving pretty quick now. I'm gonna hit that now. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking because you know that it's gonna hit that. So let's bring it back around. Okay, we're gonna bring it in. Let me get out of that. Let's go back into video mode, start recording, and let's bring it in here. And we'll do a manual droning with this guy too. It's pretty cool because this thing, you know, a big gust of wind came up there and you don't even know it with this drone. So that's the difference between this guy and the Mini. Okay, I'm going to keep that camera kind of pointed down because we're going to be going back and up. So 1, 2, 3, reverse and away. That is what they call a droney. And off it goes. Yeah, Sarah's just saying we had a big gust of wind come up there. Okay, so let's see if it'll hit that precision landing. We're going to do a return to home now. Now, what I have found, precision landing on this guy, whenever you use any of the automated flight modes, it seems to affect precision landing. It doesn't seem to work as well. So let's see how close it gets here. Obviously, I'll abort it if it looks like it's going to be far off, because we're right next to the water here, so that wouldn't be good. Let's drop the camera down so we can see it. It's orienting itself. I don't know. We might have it here. No, it's going to be a good ways off. Well, no, that's centering. Look at that. Look at that. It's going to hit it right on the nose. That was fun to watch it center itself. Yeah, as soon as it saw that H. Oh boy, ye of little faith, and look at that, it's going to hit it right on. Right on the money. And it picked up the camera automatically, picked up the gimbal. And yeah, so it moved off just a little, right as it was coming down. I think the air cushion of the props moved it off just a little bit, but good enough for me. Okay, Sarah's going to pick it up for me there, and we're going to stop recording. Okay, so let me grab the Mavic 2 Zoom, and that'll be the last in our Mavic versus Mavic versus Mavic. We're ready to go here. You can see on the aircraft status report, everything is normal. By the way, I know that the new firmware came out last night. I did not load that new firmware, and I have my cellular turned off right now, so it wouldn't update. So anyway, looks like we're ready to go here. I see no reason why not to take off. It's showing me that we are in yeah, fly with caution, only assists in flight safety. Boy, the DJI has plenty of warnings on there, don't they? So we've got 12 satellites. Let's go ahead and it always cracks me up. So when I switch to the Go4 app now, I always have to remember how to check settings. So we're in auto. Color is in normal. H264. White balance is in cloudy days, so we want to change that to sunny. Or you know what? We had the others in auto, so let's put it in auto. We put the white balance in auto. We're in 4K. You can see at the top 4K, 30 frames per second. We've got autofocus on. Gosh, I see absolutely no reason why we can't take off. So I'm going to start recording now. Recording has started. I'm going to get out of the way so you can watch the takeoff. And then the slide on this one, not holding your finger over the circle. It's weird switching between apps. So let's go ahead and let's run it up about 10 meters like we did the Mavic Air 2. Well, we're up about 12 meters, and let's let it hover there and take a look at the landing pad and give it a shot at precision landing. Okay, so let's point out towards Vista Point, and we're going to do the same thing we did with. We're going to do the same thing we did with the other drones. Sarah's pointing out that we got a boat pretty close there. I'm going to lower the gimbal just a little. That's probably a little too much. And so we need to go up to 25 meters, right? Well, that's a little bit much. Overshot that. It's weird flying different drones that, you know, the controls are all just a little different, and it can get a little bit confusing. Okay, so we're going to try and go at 8 meters per second. Horizontal speed. So that way we get the same picture that we got with the other drones. That's a little bit too much. So it's interesting. This guy is a little bit different. Let me adjust my heading here a little bit. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm having a harder time holding that consistent speed with this guy. Yeah, there we're back up about 8 meters per second. I'm having a little bit tougher time than I had with the Mavic Air 2, and it looks like we were moving to the left there a little bit, and I felt like that was uncommanded by me. I had my hand off of the yaw stick altogether, so I don't know if we were getting blown by the wind. Yeah, and then we're too fast now, so I clearly wasn't very accurate on this one. Okay guys, I'm going to bring it back and try that again, because I want to be as close as I can. Oh shoot, I see I've got it in sport mode. Didn't realize that. And there again, that's a different control on here. It's a switch on the side of the controller. So we're going to bring it back to us and we're going to try that again. So this is full stick back in reverse in sport mode. Although it says P mode, I am looking at the side of my drone and it's clearly in sport mode, but it says position mode at the top. What'd you say, Sarah?
It's hauling really fast, but yeah.
Okay, so I've got the drone back above us here, and I am going to switch this switch into P mode. That was weird how the switch was in sport mode, but it said position mode on the app. Let me switch it back into, yeah, so now it's in sport mode. Yeah, so I'm going to go back into P mode. So that was really weird. I had sport mode was selected on the controller. So I don't know if it just boots up into P mode automatically. I don't know. Anyway, so let's try that again, and I'm going to see if I can hold a more consistent 8 meters per second, because that just was not a fair comparison. Yeah, and I'm having an easier time holding that speed now. So I think I definitely was probably in sport mode there. Well, as I say that, I'm moving back and forth. So this will give us a more consistent view of what we saw with the other two drones. We want to be able to compare apples to apples. Out about 400 meters. That was odd. I'm going to have to ask one of my DJI experts about that. Because the app clearly said position mode and the switch was clearly in sport mode. And we did have obstacle avoidance, which is weird. So in sport mode, you're not supposed to have that. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to adjust our heading here just a little bit and raise some altitude. And we're going to go right over the top. Of Vista Point here. Somebody on a bicycle there. And this is that same little offshoot of the reservoir I told you about. I always thought this was kind of cool. Extended flight distance detected. Always maintain visual line of sight. Yeah, good old DJI there. Keeping us on the straight and narrow. I'm 37 meters high. So this is that same little. Let's see if we can kind of do a manual circle around this guy. I struggle doing these manual parallax moves. As my friend Mike DeCurcio says over at Philly Drone Life, it just takes practice. You got to do like Mikey does, and you just fly every day. Okay, let's pick that gimbal back up, and let's just look around the lake a little bit. We're out about, we were out about 1.6 kilometers, about the same as we were with the Mavic Air 2. Let's go out over the top of this peninsula here. And maybe we'll just try and see if we can't do a little circle around it. This is the kind of stuff my friend Sean Oliver would do. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Lucky Peak Reservoir. Big old lake. So then, you know, I showed you some of those camping / picnic spots. So they're all over the lake here, and I think it's pretty cool that they built these for people to. You know, they're only accessible by boat, so those ones that you see off in the distance there, let me raise the gimbal just a little bit. You got a boat. You got to have a boat to get to that thing. Pretty cool. So I am risking getting behind a mountain here, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to risk losing connection. With OcuSync 2, I'd probably be fine. I'm probably all right. So see that little point right there? I was worried about getting behind that. So maybe we got more to go here. We're a little bit to the left of that. We can't get too close. But you know what I think we should do is we should take advantage of the zoom here, right? So we're flying the Mavic 2 zoom. So why wouldn't we use that function? And you can see boats hooked up. Yeah, weak image transmission. So yeah, we lost it there for a second. Obstacle avoidance disabled. I am backing this baby up, folks. I am backing it up. There we go. Yeah, so I got behind the mountain there. So, but anyway, let's go in with zoom. So that is the 2x zoom on the Mavic 2 Zoom, which makes it kind of handy. So let's back out of that. And let's bring this baby back. Let's throw her in sport mode so we can get some speed. Obstacle avoidance unavailable. Picked up the gimbal just a little bit. We are in sport mode up to about 14 meters per second.
Can you follow that boat with the red?
Sarah's got a boat out there she wants me to follow, but with the battery power we've got left, we want to try and do that that same half circle that we've done with the other drones, and then we'll see how much battery power we have. So there we are, we're on that little point right there, and you can see the little peninsula that sticks out that was blocking our signal when I was trying to get a picture of that camp spot.
You're right here.
Yeah. Sarah says, hey, you're right here. Okay, so we are going to go into intelligent flight modes, and we are going to do quick shot. Aircraft recording. I always forgot about that. You got to stop recording. So it did it automatically for me. Okay. So it stopped recording. So we're going to quick shot, and we are going to go into circle. I'm telling you, I forgot how to do this. So I can't remember if this guy, how's it going to know if I go, which way is it going to go? Is it going to go counterclockwise or clockwise? Yeah, okay. It's going counterclockwise. So it's got us there. And it's the same thing we did with the other drones. And it does have side sensors. So it would not go into the side of the mountains. But I'm not going to even let it get close. And I stopped it. And it moved a lot. It kind of came in closer to us than the other one did. So let's move it back out in front of us again. We're going to do our droney. So let me get out. Let me go back into normal mode. It's like I said, it's wild when you're switching between apps. It's really strange trying to figure out you know what. Everything's a little bit different. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, we're going to leave that gimbal. Boy, oh boy, the wind really came up here. Okay, manual droney right now. Reverse and up now. Pretty cool little spot we found here to fly at. I'm going to remember this place. This is where we're going to want to go to track boats and stuff.
Did you return to home?
Okay. Yeah, so we are down to about 33% battery, so we're going to do a return to home, and we're going to see if this guy can stick a landing like the Mavic Air 2 did. So here it comes, and it's coming back at max altitude, 118 meters, which is that's under 400 feet. It's pretty close. A little off. But remember how the Mavic Air 2 corrected. Yeah, so did you see there it said locating landing point? And it's moving around, and look, it's pretty close. Pretty close. I wonder if it'll get it. Yeah, I mean, it's within inches. Oh yeah, now it's zeroed in. I'm just going to let it land. It's not going to hurt anything there. It's a little bit off. Just a little bit off. Well, it might surprise us here. Yeah, so it's got, it had 2 legs on the pad there, and Sarah got that on video too. So I'm going to stop video on the bird. And yeah, it's giving me a low battery warning. Okay, let me get everything shut down here, and then we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, so man, did we have a fun day flying here at Lucky Peak today. And like I said, this is a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek comparison, and you're probably getting a little bit of wind noise on that mic right now because the wind has really come up. But you know what? The drones performed beautifully. And like I said, we kind of got some similar shots so that you can look at the video and see the difference between the Mavic 2 Zoom, the Mavic Air 2, and our good friend the Mavic Mini. Now, the Mini, we got a fair amount of wind, and yes, we did get wind warnings at one point, but it did pretty darn good. It's impressive the amount of actual wind that this little guy will handle. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. We also proved that you can track boats with the Mavic Air 2, and what I was impressed with is it recognized that it was a boat. I mean, it's so cool that DJI builds that kind of technology in there. I, as a pilot, got a little bit confused when I had to go back to the Go4 app from the Fly app, but we managed that. You know, like I said, all the drones performed beautifully, and you got to look at a little bit of Lucky Peak Reservoir here. So I hope you enjoyed it. And behind me, you will be looking at the video from all these 3 drones. And gosh, all I can say at this point is I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, and we absolutely will see you on the next one. Bye now. Mavics, man, they're hard to beat.